Hello everyone, welcome back to the latest update series of Drishti IAS. This is Deka, and today we are meeting to discuss a very important development that has recently happened, that is regarding NTA task force. That's right. Finally, government and cabinet and everybody has decided that okay, let's create a task force that will finally give us a revamp that is very necessary at the point, especially after the protest. Right? So let's see what has happened. What is this task force? How will it work? We'll find all that out in today's session. Okay. All right. So the Centre on Sunday unveiled members of the expert panel that will recommend structural and technological changes to the functioning of NTA. Okay. They will recommend structural and technological changes for NTA. The multidisciplinary task force will be headed by technological expert Nandan Nilekani. Okay, please remember the name. And has been constituted to recommend comprehensive reforms that are aimed at making NTA's examination process more transparent, secure, and technology driven. What are we trying to do? We're trying to make the process more transparent so that the cases like paper leak don't happen again. And we have already created a norm, right? We've already created a norm that in case it still happens, we have made the punishments very discreet, right? Exactly. So now after this, let's understand the task force composition. First of all, we have Nandan Nilekani, co-founder of Infosys and founding chairman of UIDI, that is architect of Aadhaar and India Stack. Now S. Somanath, former chairman of ISRO, who will be joining this, the former chairman of ISRO for Education Department. All right. Then we have Tapan Deka, the former director of IB, bringing the national security and intelligence expertise regarding technological advancement also, right? Because if you want to prevent paper leak, that means you need technological advancements, right? Then we have Professor Kamakoti, right? Director of IIT Madras and Cyber Security Authority, all right? Then we have Anita Karwal, former Secretary, Department of School Education and Literacy, right? Coming from the Education Department, giving that angle to the committee. And then Amrit Lal Meena, Senior Administrator and expert in logistics and supply chain governance, right? Why? Because we know that there are loopholes in the logistics and supply chain also, because that is given to the third party vendor, and there also the chances of paper leak have increased, right? The risk measurement has shown that this is also a part of the risk. So we are working on logistics also. That's why from every aspect, as you can see, one or the other representative has come who are going to bring forward their experience and expertise in the arena. Yes, that is the composition of the task force that has been framed so that it will work towards restructuring NTA. Is that clear? Yes? All right. What are the mandates and objectives here? Why are we doing this? To understand the mandate, understand number one, that is technological integration. Why? Because we want them to integrate such a technology that would be able to protect us rather than leaking stuff, right? It will have end-to-end encryption, digital question paper transmission, and modern digital safeguards as well. Now, cyber security and security audit, in terms of that, if we evaluate current exam administration process, it is to eliminate potential entry points of paper leaks or cyber threat, right? That is the main logic here. Then in logistics and supply chain, streamlining physical center allocation. When center allocation has been done in that logistics supply chain of question paper storage, transportation protocols, that should be created and everything should be followed in such a manner that we have least number of loopholes present in the system, right? Next is restoring student trust, because all this has not only just leaked the paper or wasted a year of people or students, but they've also lost the trust. Now people don't know whether to put their children into such studies. Students don't know whether to keep working for so hard for a year only to end up like this, right? To rebuild that trust, it is very necessary that you take such steps that show your commitment towards the cause, right? That's why this high level task force is going to work dedicatedly on this very particular issue. Here, this will become an example, this will set an example for all other examinations, for all other organizations, for state level exams, for center level exams, everywhere, to make sure that no further leak in the country for papers happens and it doesn't waste the life of students, right? Exactly. So this has been done, but in that we see there have been some committees and their recommendations regarding this. that can also be asked in the prelims, even though these committees were not formed right now, but still they are very recent and their recommendations are also quite similar, right? Had we adopted them earlier, this might have not happened, right? That's why they become very important. Let's understand these two committees, not a lot, just two committees that were very recent and very important in the segment. Number one is Dr. K. Radhakrishnan Committee of 2024. The DIGI exam le Aadhaar linked facial biometric verification from application to entry to prevent impersonation. This was done under this. Multi-stage, multi-shift CBTs, they said transition high-stake exams away from single-day OMR work, right? They suggested that don't make it single day, instead span it out, like conduct 2 exams, conduct 3 exams, do it like that. Then hybrid paper transmission, digital transmitting for end-to-end encrypted question papers. It should go directly to test centers, print them on demand minutes before the start time, right? They should have, every center should have a system where they can print the paper on demand right that second, right? Before that, they should not be able to access the paper. Even the centers, the school centers, college centers that come where people, students go to write the exam, right? They should have end-to-end encrypted digital paper. Minutes before starting the exam, they should have all the facilities to print the paper right away, the number of papers that are required, they print it there right at that moment and then distribute it altogether. That way, they wouldn't have the time to actually leak the paper, right? From there at least, like we are not saying they are leaking the paper, but it is a loophole that they have the paper in advance. It is a loophole, right? Exactly. So now in this manner, there should be no outsourcing. We should minimize reliance on third-party commercial vendors for sensitive printing, packaging or logistics that clearly act as a very large loophole, because your paper is roaming around here and there in the hands of third-party private sectors where you cannot even monitor them. You don't know what is happening on the way, right? So let's eliminate that and create a better end-to-end encrypted structure. Then came before this Nandan Nilekani Task Force, right? 2024-25. Tech governance and security architecture. They said that redesign digital transmission protocols and cyber security audits and data privacy and AI oversight should be done. AI anomaly detection to flag unnatural central level scorings also. Like, how did they score so high? If it is not normal, you should have an AI detector to observe the marks as well, right? That will tell you that, like, if a group of students all together, like if one student scores, that's fine. The student has studied well. But if a group of students from the same center or the same city are scoring very high, that means there might be some problem. Not sure that there is a problem, but there might be, that needs a radar, right? Exactly. These facilities have been introduced. Now this brings us to NTA. Every day we've been discussing changes in NTA, resignations from NTA, removal of officials from NTA. What is NTA? Right, the very basic question, what is NTA? How does it work? What are its tasks? Okay, so let's understand NTA for once. The full name is National Testing Agency. What is it? National Testing Agency. It is established in November 2017, approved by Union Cabinet. Legal status, autonomous society registered under Societies Registration Act 1860. That means it is, number one, non-statutory. Please remember that. It is non-statutory and non-constitutional. Conducting such high-level exams in the country, the organization itself is non-statutory and non-constitutional. That is just an autonomous society. You see the structural problem here? You see the structural problem here? You are recruiting, like even if it is for college, you are still recruiting so many candidates, the future of India, and they don't even have, okay fine, don't give constitutional status, that is understandable, but at least statutory. It is not even statutory, right? That is one of the structural problems that will be solved very soon. Parent ministry, under Ministry of Education it works. That's why they were asking the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan, who has finally resigned, and now we have the new education minister. Tell me the name of the new education minister. Tell me the answer in the comment section. Who is the newly elected Education Minister of India after the resignation of Dharmendra Pradhan? Yeah. Where is it headquartered? It is headquartered in New Delhi. What is the primary objective? Standardized, transparent, high quality entrance examination for admissions in higher education institutions, right? That is its task. Clear? What are the major exams it conducts? NEET, UG, JEE Mains, CUET, UGPG, UGC NET, CSIR, UGC NET, CMAT, TPAT, all these exams. Governance structure, it is headed by a Directorate General appointed by the central government, governed by governing body, chaired by eminent educationist. Now we are changing this structure. Generally, this is what it is. Now we have a task force that will restructure. And financial model, self-sustaining model, funded initially via a one-time seed grant of 25 crore from the government, now runs on examination fees. They collect the examination fees and they run on the basis of that. They're not asking for more funding. Then the primary testing mode, what is it? Mostly it conducts computer-based exams. Sometimes hybrid OMR format is also adopted for high-value assessments, right? Yeah, that is the structure of NTA, the work of NTA, the guideline of NTA. Is that clear? Yes? All right. For more such discussions on current affairs news, you can always join us on this live session that we run from Monday to Saturday, 8:30 a.m. live. And there we discuss the Hindu newspaper, PIB analysis and questions from the previous session. That's right, you practice current affairs questions every single day, even mains questions sometimes. All right, the class runs on Drishti IAS English channel. You can follow the channel and join the class every day from Monday to Saturday, 8:30 a.m. live. Yes? All right. So we have a question for you based on this article that we've read. The question for you based on NTA. Please read the question and give us your answer in the comment section. Done? All right. The answer to the question is 2 and 3. B, 2 and 3. That's about it. That was our topic regarding NTA and the task force that has been created recently. All right. That's all. See you. Take care.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.